This time on Whatever We Want, we're covering The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 5, Chapter 13, The Jedi. This is written and directed by Dave Filoni, and is a very interesting one. Spoilers ahead for Mandalorian. And also we get talk about Rebels a little bit and some tie-ins with some amazing characters. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Time code's in the description if you want to jump ahead. Enjoy. Pre-banter. All right, before you say anything, I want to warn the audience that Daniel is on a new setup.
That was going to be my pre-banter. I was going to be like, listen, I know my audio quality for this one's going to be bad. I'm on my second PC, okay, and I'm up at State College. So one, my internet is super slow.
Paint a picture of what you're doing right now.
Right now, I'm in the attic, okay? It's a very expansive attic, okay? And there's a giant window out here, okay? And to try to minimize echo, I have my headset on because I'm also in my VR headset. I don't have my mic set up or anything.
His VR headset, because he doesn't have his mic.
So I'm in my Oculus Rift VR headset, using that mic, okay? Literally sitting in front of a window, looking out of it longingly.
Longingly staring out the window, but can't see it because it's VR. So do you have anything up in VR? Or is it just black? Like what?
No, I have my Windows screen set up right now, so like I can see my actual desktop and all that. Yeah. So I'm like literally I'm just looking at OBS right now.
I didn't know if you were just gonna be like blind for the next however long this podcast is.
No, I mean, honestly, I probably could like put like some YouTube or something on and just like watch. No. Or yeah, I could even put on Mando.
I mean, you could also do that normally, like when we do the podcast, we were sitting
in
front
of
the computer.
True. But this is different because it's another reality,
it's
dude. Like,
reality. But yeah, so again, apologies for Daniel's audio quality. We just wanted to get this out. Also, apologies that this is a late episode. Things been crazy with the holidays. I moved back up to Penn State to finish out the semester, so things been crazy. But yeah, we're doing it. Hope you enjoy it. Ready to jump into it?
Yeah, let's go into it.
You may want us to talk about this or that, but we don't care. We're gonna talk about whatever we want. Blah. Welcome back to Whatever We Want, the podcast where we, Jake and Daniel, two devilishly handsome gentlemen, talk about movies, television shows, media, geek stuff like Marvel, Star Wars. This week, we're talking about Star Wars, The Mandalorian, Season 2, Chapter 13, Episode, is this 5? Yes.
I think 5, yeah.
The Jedi. Bam. Spoilers!
So we were wrong with predictions again.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, big spoilers.
There's time codes in the description if you want to jump around. I believe I said that possibly in the intro. I don't know yet because we didn't record the intro yet. A little behind the scenes of the order we record these things. But yeah, so bam. I want some fan art of Daniel longingly looking out a window, but with a VR headset on in his attic. All right.
Oh man, dude, this episode was crazy.
Yeah, I thought either Ahsoka was going to appear halfway through the episode or at the end, and I was wrong. She was the first thing that popped up.
We were both wrong. It was literally the first thing, yeah.
Which I didn't really mind. Like, I enjoyed it.
No, I enjoyed it a lot, too. Yeah. I was like, oh, so we're getting right into it. Okay, yeah. But yeah, so we start with Ahsoka, right? And yeah, we're in these woods. It's very like eerie. It's very dark, and I
really like the design of this planet.
Yeah, I do too. It's very cool.
Like the fog just has a really good layer of like depth. Yeah, it's like what's it called? Like a dead forest planet, or at least this part of it is.
Which also kind of builds later on to the story we're going to get from the people that we're going to be interacting with and who Ahsoka's looking for. But yeah, so Ahsoka's in these woods and she's doing these crazy Jedi moves on these guys as she's like moving up to like this wall.
She's got her white lightsabers.
Oh yeah, she's got her white blades. And it's Rosie, who plays her?
Rosario Dawson plays
Rosario Dawson.
Live action Ahsoka. Apparently, also, I just saw something on Instagram. I don't know if it's credible at all, but someone said like Rosario Dawson's been confirmed for like 3 Star Wars films, like signed a contract. And I was like, what Star Wars films? Like I feel like we've explored all of the time that Ahsoka could be around. Like, I don't understand. I don't know where like that could be. So I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think they said anything between episodes 6 and 7. I kind of hope they don't. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what do you think of her performance?
I think she nailed it. Dead on.
Yeah.
The one and only thing that I would say is the length of her, I don't know, tendrils or whatever they are.
Yeah, the...
You know, like the blue... But it was confirmed that they had to reduce...
Montrals. They're called Montrals.
Yeah, Montrals.
Because of stunts.
Yeah. Which makes sense, you know?
Yeah, they're usually long. The last time we saw them in Rebels, they were longer. Like, they grow, obviously, when she gets older. But, like, they shorten them for practical purposes of, like, doing stunts and all of her, like, fighting and flips and Jedi tricks that they have to do.
Yeah. Other than that, you know, it was spot on. Literally spot on.
Yeah. Ashley Eckstein is the voice of Ahsoka in like Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff. So yeah, it's not the same person like doing the voice and the what's it called, which I think is fine. Like,
Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine.
it wasn't that distracting. I feel like the voice, like when in Clone Wars, especially, like it was when Ahsoka was like a teenager, so her voice would have like matured and sounded different by this time, which is like many years after Clone Wars.
Yeah. Was it the same voice actor they used in Rebels as well? Or was it different?
I believe, yeah, Ashley Eckstein did it in Rebels as well. I looked it up, unless Google lied to me. All right, so what's next? Mando and Baby Yoda like arrive at Corvus. Well, basically, the reason Ahsoka's there's this town that has been like taken over by the Magistrate, I believe is the person's name, and that's actually Bruce Lee's goddaughter, is the actress that plays her.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she has like this cloak on, and it has like the thing that keeps her cloak on. It looks exactly like Count Dooku's. I was like, whoa, that's kind of
like the clip
interesting
chain thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that means anything.
What else is she in? Because I knew she looked familiar, but I didn't know she was her.
I have no idea.
That's cool. But yeah, Ahsoka's pretty much, I'll give you one day to leave yourself of duty or whatever. And she's like,
Right.
nah. And then Mando and Grogu show up, like you said.
Yeah, well, we don't know it's Grogu yet. It's still Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah, it's Baby Yoda.
I want to say Baby Yoda as long as possible. But yeah, I really like. I feel like the sound effects for Baby Yoda are like a step up this season. Like, I just really like all the noises and like baby noises like he makes.
You like all the little farts.
Yeah, exactly.
What did he make when they were landing in here? Because I thought he made like a little like, wah, or I don't know. I can't do baby noises.
I can confidently say I don't have every Baby Yoda sound memorized.
We should get like a Baby Yoda soundboard.
We should, but I saw a tweet where it was like, whoever decided to do this, like, should have a raise, and it was captioned like, every time that Baby Yoda or Grogu is called by his name, like he makes like a noise, and it played it, and it's like really funny. He's like, Patu, okay, like every time like he's called Grogu, he like makes a weird noise. It's like a compilation of that quality tweet. But yeah, so Mando is pretty much hired to hunt Ahsoka.
When he comes into town, he's trying to find Ahsoka, right? And then eventually the magistrate, they take him to go see like the main magistrate lady, and she's like, I have this spear of Beskar. Right, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, where did she get that from?
I don't know. I mean, apparently she's been plundering planet after planet as part of a larger corporation that we'll get into later. When I say corporation, it's just a code word. But yeah, so she probably got it through like some plundering or something like that. And, you know, it makes sense. Like, you'd think, like, if it was any other Mandalorian, he'd be like, okay, yeah, I can do that, you know? Mm-hmm. But because it's him, he's like, okay, this is a lead for me to go find Jedi, because she wants the Jedi dead.
Yeah, he goes into the forest and then does find Ahsoka and temporarily fights her. And I think if he didn't say, like, that, like, Bo-Katan sent me, like, he looked like he was going to lose that fight.
Yeah.
Which is really, like, says a lot about Ahsoka, because, like, Mando is, like, taking on, like, lots of guys before, like, without, like, a sweat, pretty much, and almost gets his butt handed to him, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, no, I do want to make a good point here, though, that he did hold on his own for a good bit against Ahsoka. I mean, she's a freaking Jedi, you know? So it's hard for any, like, non-Force wielder to go up against them in general. But the fact that he was still able to hold his own for, like, that minute or so that they were fighting, I mean, that was pretty cool.
That brings up an interesting, like, thing, though, about, like, Ahsoka. Like, I don't know if she is technically, like, a Jedi, especially after, like, being, like, after the Order and stuff. Dave Filoni, actually, I have a quote here from an interview he did with Vanity Fair about, like, Ahsoka's, like, live-action debut. And this is, like, the quote that he said. So he said, she's a wandering samurai character is what she really is at this point. I've always made comparisons to her heading towards the Gandalf stage, where she is the one that has the knowledge of the world and can help others through it. I think she's reached that point. When you see this version of the character, she's world-weary from everything she's experienced and lived through. She's seen so much happen in her time. I would argue in some ways, by being so selfless and rejecting a lot of paths that would have given her power, she's more Jedi-like than even some characters who claim to be Jedi. She wants to do good and to help people, but rather than do it like the Jedi did, which was all wound up in politics of the Republic, she's just doing it on an individual basis in the galaxy. Plus, she has a larger quest, which is always more fun when they have a larger quest, which is about, like, Thrawn and stuff, which we find about.
Okay, you gave it up.
Find out about later.
I was gonna wait.
I mean,
for that,
I feel like if you're listening to this, you know.
Yeah. I was going to say, use the corporation word. Say the corporation. But it's actually the Imperials and Thrawn and all that. So, yeah, that's a big one. Why do you think she's looking for her anyway? Or him?
I don't know. But, like, I don't know.
Why did you say that in the same way you, like, announce Awawawanga?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
sorry.
It's interesting though. Just I was gonna say like Dave Filoni, I'm pretty sure like was big in the creation of Ahsoka, like especially because he was brought on board to do like Clone Wars, and like Ahsoka was the main like big new character in that.
Yeah.
And then he's like seen her through Rebels, and this is him like bringing it to culmination in live action. I feel like he really knows his character, and I feel like that quote like really proves that. And I just feel confident like in Dave's hands, you know, at least Ahsoka wise.
Oh, definitely. You know, he's definitely not only doing things well just in general with material he's doing with Star Wars, but also, yeah, going with this character. I mean, he laid it out there. I mean, she does act more Jedi-like in some ways, but at the same time, I mean, she understands the flaws of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Which is a big point that's shown through this character.
There's still one thing that I actually want to talk about later. I'll just bring it up now. So, like, when she's talking about she won't train Grogu because he has too much attachment, I feel like that's her fear and attachment to Anakin coming out.
Oh, definitely.
Because I feel like, and I've talked about this a little bit before, I don't know, I think we touched upon it a little bit in the podcast, but Yoda was very big on no attachment in episodes, in the prequels. He was like, no attachment, that makes you weak, all that stuff. And then he saw the fall of the Jedi through that. And I think he realized, this is the big thing, that like between episodes 3 and 5, that we shouldn't be like forcing down these feelings like for attachment and for fear and stuff like that, because that just like pents them up, and you could have like an Anakin situation. I think he realizes that like attachment isn't necessarily a bad thing, and that's what makes Luke so strong, is his care for like Han and Leia and his friends pretty much. So I feel like Ahsoka has not realized that yet, which is interesting. I don't know. Do you have any different thoughts about that?
No, I feel like she realizes that, but at the same time, like you said, she's afraid of it.
She's scared.
She literally says,
because of Anakin.
Yeah, she literally says, "I've seen what this can do to the best of us." Yeah, which is a direct reference to Anakin. So, I mean, she understands, and she just doesn't want that to happen again. But at the same time, she doesn't want, like you said, like she doesn't want those feelings of attachment to be ignored. Right? Which is why she wants them to stay together. Which is, I feel like it's going to create a unique dynamic. Like, how long, I guess, like, Mando is going to be, like, bonded now to Grogu. Like,
yeah, and like, because, I mean, Mando's probably gonna die. Is gonna die like long before
he does.
Like Grogu does, because like, I mean, Yoda lasted to 900, unless like Mando somehow I don't know, has some Palpatine.
We're gonna clone
powers.
Mando.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, sorry. Back to where we were. Back to the tank. So yeah, well, basically, he also. Here, I think Ahsoka like reaches out and is like connecting with Grogu, and we hear more about his backstory, which I'm very excited about, because I have just been kind of like dying to know more about Baby Yoda. And we find out that like his name is Grogu, and that he was on Coruscant, trained in the Jedi Temple, and then was on Coruscant during Order 66. And at this point, I was like, we need a new like George Lucas special edition re-release where it's like Anakin going in to fight the
younglings,
like to kill the younglings, and there's Baby Yoda just like hiding behind a chair.
He's just hiding back there. He's like, oh.
He makes a noise like like farts or something.
He farts, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've been seeing all these memes where it's like Anakin. He's like, so you're saying
like,
I missed one?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, Anakin, no, stop it. But yeah,
I'm wondering who hid him though, because they said that someone took him from the temple. That's what Ahsoka said. That Grogu is said or recalling.
What if it was like Yoda?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You know,
she also mentions Yoda by name here. She says like that she's only known one other creature like this,
which is
powerful Jedi Master Yoda.
I was thinking about that because there's Yoda and then there's the other one,
Yaddle.
Wasn't she also on the Grand Council?
I think it was only in episode 1, and I don't think, and Ahsoka came around right before episode 3. So I don't know what happened to
did Yaddle die?
Yaddle. I don't know.
The reason I also know that is because she was like one of the only characters to also like wield a orange lightsaber, like canonically.
Oh.
Yeah. It was her, technically, Plo Koon, although his was shown to have like more of a yellowish pigment, but also the different versions they have him showing with orange. And then also now more recently with Cal Kestis with his orange.
Right, which
sabers.
Also we should talk about him later.
Yes.
But yeah, so Ahsoka tests Grogu the next morning, and I think it's funny, like the lifting rocks thing. Rey's like, it's about lifting rocks, right? And Luke's like, no, that's not it. And like Grogu's here lifting or trying to lift rocks.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's lifting rocks. Logan sent me a meme where it's like, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard, man. It's like Grogu's not doing it.
Come on, Grogu. Grogu also being a wizard.
Yeah. But then he gets through to to Grogu. Mando gets through to Grogu with the like joystick ball thing.
I knew there was gonna be some deeper meaning when he first took the ball like away from the ship.
Really?
I was like, okay, they're gonna be using this later on, and then they did. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. This is when Ahsoka goes in that whole attachment spiel.
Yep.
But she like immediately 180s like, I'll train him if you help me like with this village problem.
Yeah. So pretty much her plan is have Mando. No, she's gonna come in acting like she killed Mando, right?
It's a good plan.
Yeah. Pretty much make her demands again, and then they're gonna be like, oh no. She takes out like a couple of droids, and then Mando flies in, all Mando like.
Well, before that, I love when she cuts the bell in half. Like that was a cool shot.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, dude. I love the shot right before that.
When she jumps on the
where
wall.
you see her running up, and then literally like she jumped the wall like that. It was like, oh my god,
that was. I mean,
great shot.
That was definitely like two people, but still like really cool. It's like what they did for Captain America when they had him run super far and like he rounded a corner. It was like half a mile down the road. They like basically what they do is they have one person just run and they have another person like jump. So like yeah, but it was still really cool. I also really like the shot of when Ahsoka's just slowly walking down the main street. Like that was really like cinematic and cool.
And then honestly, this is going off a little bit of a tangent here, but this made me think back to like back in the day, back when you had like westerns, you know, because that's how this town is really set up, right? Like
that's what Mandalorian. Well, that's what all of Mandalorian's kind of like based on. It's like it's like a space western.
But the thing here is because like what you said with Dave, how Ahsoka's like this lone samurai like character, right? So it's like you're almost mixing in like those old story types where you have
these genreless.
Yeah, and then you're bringing them back in with this new universe and new. Well, it's not new universe, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think that's really good storytelling. Like taking familiar and tried and true like stories that like are beloved by many, and then like bringing that into Star Wars kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's like its own unique twist on it,
especially for Mandalorian. Yeah.
So I just thought it was cool because, you know, like back in the day, people would have to wait like weekly for like the little, you know, little cowboy shootout, and now we got the freaking.
Now we have to do that too.
Best upgrade ever. Yeah, best upgrade ever. We have that as well, but it's freaking lightsabers, space and lightsabers. And yeah.
Well, speaking of lightsabers, I love the shot of Ahsoka igniting the two sabers like together.
Yes, and then she like flicks them out. Oh
yeah, behind the guards, like 'cause she did that in like in the animated series, and also the sound effects for her saber are like so good. They're not like normal sabers. They sound like less stable almost. I don't know.
No, it's I want to see more staticky. It's funny because I can actually comment on these because I have the Galaxy's Edge lightsaber I have because they mimic the same sound.
Oh,
and I have a white crystal, so like I know the sound. Yeah, it's like more staticky and more. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's more beats, I guess you could say, if you want to talk about it in like a music way, because it's like it's more where with the regular lightsaber you're getting like that longer like the whine, I guess. This is more staggy. You get like that. Exactly. These should be actual lightsaber sound, just me going.
Yeah, you recorded on this horrible mic and just put it into Star Wars film. Yeah, so we got Mando versus this guy with like the plasma shotgun, and then Ahsoka goes in to fight the Magistrate. What did you think of the Magistrate versus Ahsoka fight?
I thought it was pretty good, although I felt like it did go on like a little too long.
Yeah, Logan absolutely did not like this fight.
I feel like Ahsoka would have done her in much faster.
Hold on a second. Logan, are you free? Yeah. Do you want to give your thoughts on this fight?
Yes, Logan, come in.
We got a special cameo. Come here.
Come on, Logan. Tell Logan I said to come here.
Talk to Daniel. All right, I can't hear anything you're saying, Daniel, but Logan's going to give his thoughts. Yes,
Hey, what's up, Daniel?
Hey, Logan, what's going on?
Not much, dude. How are you?
Pretty good. I heard that there's a specific fight in the newest episode of Mandalorian that you didn't like.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought it wasn't up to the standards that Star Wars set in other films and TV shows and such. So, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed.
How so? Like, get more specific with it, Logan. Give me your insight.
Yeah, I mean, so the fight between Ahsoka and what's her name? The
Magistrate.
The Magistrate? Yeah. So it seemed just slow. I was kind of waiting for it to pick up, like you would see in other films or TV shows, but it never seemed to pick up unless we weren't looking at them when we were focused on Mando and the random soldier that he was talking to. So I don't know. I could have done with more action, But yeah, I don't know. What were your thoughts, Daniel?
No, I agree with you. I feel like the way that they broke up the pacing of it with going back to Mando and the other guy, and then the way that ended on their side with it's just he's going to try to whip out his gun and then Mando's faster. I mean, yeah, that's a cool concept, but like we've also seen that before. And going back to the actual fight itself, I agree. The pacing could have been better. I mean, I wasn't like dissatisfied. Like it still happened, but at the same time, I feel like Ahsoka should have had done that quicker. Like she would have beat her faster, and that for the magistrate to be able to hold her own, there should have been more to it. So I agree with you on that part.
Yeah.
I mean, comparing that to like say, I mean, I'm assuming you watched Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
Like the finale with Darth Maul and Ahsoka, like that was intense and like amazing.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was thinking the same thing with I had actually just recently watched the finale again with Darth Maul and Ahsoka's fighting, and she beat Darth Maul, who's like, he's got to be significantly better than the Magistrate, right? So my thought was she should have wiped the floor with her, and then
exactly.
She was also fighting with like potentially the same kind of style because she had a single long staff that was it'd be the same rough fight. So I was expecting her to just completely wipe the floor. She lost a lightsaber, which seemed like completely unexpected. That didn't even build up any suspense either, so I don't know. I was just left a little bit wanting, I guess, especially after how much hype was coming up with Ahsoka in this particular episode.
I can agree with that.
I need to defend this in a second.
I feel like the caveat here is with the drop of Thrawn.
Yeah.
Where you can now like maybe potentially understand like okay, maybe she has better training because of that, you know, higher ranking Imperial stature that the Magistrate has, but still.
Yeah.
Like I can understand where you're coming from, Logan, but at the same time I'm not saying in my opinion it was a good fight. I'm not saying it was a great fight, I'm not saying it was an amazing fight. It was still a good fight, you know? But I do agree where I think Ahsoka should have been able to, you know, defeat her a little bit quicker.
Yeah. As a fight overall, just in a box on its own, it was a good fight. Yeah. But compared to the other Star Wars stuff, I don't know. That was my only critique, really. But Jake is over here like fuming, and I think he wants to. I think he wants to defend this a little bit. So I'm gonna throw it back to him.
All right, Jake.
But thanks for the.
Thank you, Logan. Thank you so much for dropping in, man. It's always good to hear from you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll talk to you later.
See you later, my dude.
Sorry, just throwing on the spot there.
I had to form a 3-step argument.
I feel bad for you. I don't like only hearing half the conversation. Like that is weird.
It is a little bit weird.
All right, but we're back. I'm back. Hello, everyone. Let's give it up for Logan. Give it a little round of applause.
Yay, Logan.
All right, now to defend. I completely agree with a lot of the points he was making, but I feel like there is a little bit of justification for some of the things. So this is just what I was thinking, and I don't know what you said, Daniel, and I probably won't know until like I'm editing. But Ahsoka's now older than the last time we saw her in Rebels, which was before Episode 4. This is now 5 years after Episode 6. So she probably hasn't really fought anyone with a lightsaber for a long time, so she might be a little out of practice with that, and like she might not be used to like fighting people that can like deflect lightsabers. I don't know, like because there's not a lot of Jedi or Sith to like spar with. I don't know. Yeah, also this person isn't a Jedi, so the Magistrate probably isn't going to be as good as like a Jedi versus Jedi fight. But yeah, I definitely agree like it was slow, and I don't think she should have lost her saber, but I don't know. Yeah, that's my little defense.
You pretty much just agreed with the stuff that I said. I'm like, it was still a good fight. It was just that it was a little bit too long, in my opinion. And
yeah,
I can understand some of your points there, but at the same time, I feel like she's still fighting a lot because she's obviously on this quest to find Thrawn, right? Which means she's been whipping them out. I'm not saying against like people that use like Beskar or other sabers, but she's definitely been using them, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like we're also another point I forgot to say. It's just like we're used to seeing Ahsoka like really vibrant and like jumpy in animation, like quick animation, and like this is live action, so there's obviously gonna be a little bit of sluggishness to that transition.
Yeah, that is true. There's a big difference there. I mean, it is easier to animate a character doing a triple backflip than have a character go and do it in real life with wires and having to then cut all that out, and it is more of a process.
I actually watched a behind the scenes thing for like the Clone Wars and like specifically with like Ahsoka and the Jedi's fighting styles, and they basically like animated it so it was quicker than like what a real fight would be. Just stylistically, they would like go in for a strike and then like really quickly like do the strike, but then like hold for longer. So like the in between like striking, the strike itself would be really quick to emphasize that, but then like the holds would be longer, and that's kind of how they try to do a lot of the fights in Clone Wars, and you can kind of see that.
Yeah, definitely.
I specifically think with Ventress, I remember seeing a lot like her. She was a lot like that. But yeah,
It's weird how like techniques like that can like make they're small and simple, but they're so precise that they make a big difference. You know?
yeah. So Mando kills the guy outside because he tries to pull a fast one. The town is saved. Woohoo! And then Ahsoka asks about
I don't get why he would do that.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Well, going back to the other guy with the
Yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
Like, one, Mando has Beskar armor on, right? So if you even shoot him, it's just going to reflect off of like 90% of his body, okay? Or
Yeah.
70 for being generous, okay? Or more precise.
Yeah.
So you're already down on odds of hitting a good shot, okay? He's a Mandalorian, okay? He's known for killing people like you. Why are you going to try? Just walk away, dude. Just walk away.
Yeah. But yeah, then Ahsoka asks about Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I actually don't know much about him. I know it's like he's a big villain in Rebels. I'm currently about to like start going through Rebels. I watched episode or 2 with Logan, I think last night. But yeah, so like people are excited about that. He's apparently a really good character, really good villain. Do you know anything about him?
No, other than the fact that
Have you seen Rebels?
no, I've not seen Rebels. I've only seen parts of it.
I'm gonna bring in an expert. Be right back. Potential spoilers for Rebels. Yeah. We got our Star Wars expert, in-house expert coming in, flying in. Here he is, everyone. Give it up for Matt.
Matt.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
There we are, Matt. Hey.
So Jake told me to sit here and didn't tell me what to do. So I'm
Talk
confused.
about a little bit of history on Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Oh, okay. I thought he gave you like a prompt or something.
Nope. I'm just here.
All right, so we're talking about the latest Mandalorian episode, and specifically, we're talking about the drop of Thrawn.
Okay, so
And we wanted to ask you, what do you know about him in general, and also from Rebels?
all right, so Thrawn. When I heard this drop, my jaw dropped because Thrawn is just probably one of the best, like, well-known characters in Rebels, just because. So the major thing with Thrawn is that he has like a superior intellect above just about any other Imperial officer or anything like that. He's given the title of Grand Admiral, which is probably one of the highest naval honors in the Empire, or just kind of in the galaxy in and of itself. And the reason that he has this is because he's able to outthink just about any of his opponents. There's one battle in, I believe it's in Legends, where Thrawn takes out an entire Rebel fleet just with 3 ships. And what makes Thrawn a little bit different than all of the other Imperial officers and commanders is that he never underestimates his enemies. He's always looking at either cultural evidence or some other aspect of the planet to kind of gain like that heads up on their enemy so that he can calculate their moves like 10 steps in advance. So he's kind of one of those more intelligence characters. Don't get me wrong, there's also several scenes in Rebels where he's seen in hand-to-hand combat just ripping droids to shreds, but typically he's more used for his intelligence than physical combat ability.
Yeah, understandable. You wouldn't want somebody like that on the front lines if they have that kind of, technical, tactical.
Oh, absolutely not. You definitely want
power, I guess you'd say.
You want to keep your high ups, back in the telling everybody else what to do so that, the other people can get shot. And so he can just be like, no, we're going to do it this way now.
That's always a great way to put it. You're less valuable than me.
I mean, that's what the Empire does. They just throw stormtroopers. They don't hit anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So, no, I'm super excited to hear this drop just because for what this could look like is that the Empire, just with Thrawn in and of itself, like still being alive, I'm really excited to see if he's kind of just running like a splinter group or if he's kind of just in his own isolation and kind of like plotting his return or whatever. Because, I mean, we see later that the Emperor does make like this giant fleet and comeback, and I'm curious to see if they'll have like him interacting with that in any way, just because of his superior intellect. And, I mean, if I'm the Emperor and one of my top Grand Admirals is still alive, and I'd put him into one of my, giant kill order fleets, but that's just me.
Yeah, that does make sense. Same, like, time scale wise, right? Is this after Rebels? Didn't he like die at the end of Rebels, if I'm not mistaken?
So that's what it was kind of left up in the air. Major spoilers. It's kind of unknown as to what happens with him and Ezra. They're kind of just seen like disappearing in a way, and there was never really any explanation offered. There was like some intent at the end to just be like, hey, Ahsoka's like, I'm gonna go look for these guys and see what happens. But then, I mean, that was the last episode of the season, so they never brought anything back up. And so I'm assuming with this name drop that he somehow did survive. So that's also curious to be. That might mean that there's another Jedi on the loose.
Yeah, because Jake and I were also talking about that as well, because now we've been Ahsoka. We know about Cal Kestis off of the Jedi Fallen Order game, right? So he's still going to be around at this time, right? At least presumably. And at the same time, we are now potentially having, Ezra?
Yeah, so him and Thrawn, they kind of, right now, are in the same fate based on the end of how Rebels ended, so I'd be interested to see if they kind of throw him out there. I know there's kind of just been rumors with The Mandalorian about like who all they're going to bring in, and I mean they're bringing in a giant extensive cast, but I wouldn't throw Ezra as someone completely out of the idea.
Keanu!
I thought they were going to try to use Keanu for Revan or something like that. I think he'd be better for that, But yeah, so that could be another Jedi who could potentially train Grogu. I still don't know if I like that name versus Baby Yoda.
Jake was saying that earlier.
That's just my personal opinion.
I don't know. Grogu, I mean, it's got a Grogu on you, you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
All right.
All right. I mean, I respect it. I liked it. I'm a pun guy.
Okay.
All right. I will turn this back over to Jake.
Give it up for Matt!
Hey, Matt! Well, so we need a game sometime soon again, Matt. I miss you.
He's gone.
Oh.
I will tell him.
Well.
All right, I'm here. Hello, Thrawn. Got a lot of good info about that. Are you talking about Cassian potentially also coming back? Was that what he was saying?
I'm talking about Ezra and like how...
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, you'll get into
All right.
editing and all that.
Yeah. So, Mando seems sad because he thinks he's about to give up Grogu, and I kind of got sad, even though I knew there was no chance they were splitting.
Yeah, dude, I got big sad.
Yeah.
I was like, is this like, how are they going to do this, you know? Like,
Nah. So yeah, Ahsoka then comes back and says she's not going to separate Mando from Grogu because of their attachment. He's like a father to him. And she says to go to Tython and go to the ancient ruins of a Jedi temple and to place Grogu on the seeing stone at the top of the mountain. And then a Jedi could sense his presence. So we got to talk about what Jedis are out there, because at this time, 6 years after episode 6, there's Luke, Leia, potentially... Luke, people have been fan casting Sebastian Stan because he looks like young Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Leia,
which I'd honestly be down for. You know, that works.
I don't even know. Young Leia, people say Millie Bobby Brown, the girl from Stranger Things, looks like younger Carrie Fisher. But that wouldn't fit the time frame. The Jedi from Fallen Order, whatever that guy's name is, I forget.
Cal Kestis?
Yeah, and then Ezra, who some people have fan casted Keanu Reeves. That's why I shouted Keanu.
Just heard it silent, like quietly in the background. Just Keanu.
Yeah, that is kind of where the episode ends then. Like, he heads off.
So yeah, there's just a lot to think about, you know? And at the same time, like, what other Sith are out there right now that could also... Because if it's this force point, right? I feel like Sith would be able to sense him too, right? So, like, who should we be worried about here?
Also, I was thinking, like, Thrawn, he maybe could potentially... Because he's so, like, intelligent, maybe he's, like, influential and impactful on, like, the... formation of the First Order or something. Maybe we'll see something like that, or like maybe he's helping like construct Starkiller Base or something. I don't know.
Matt brought up a good point where he was talking about, you know, how Palps comes back, you know.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like, what if Thrawn, like right as Grand Admiral, is like returning to like the head of like whatever Imperial factions or sub factions there are, right? So he's trying to reform them,
right?
And in those, he's leading Moff Gideon, right? Who's now he's in charge of the cloning procedure, and that might be what we're seeing here with Grogu and all that.
Yeah,
right? Which would only support like why Moff and all that wants Grogu, and they're trying to. I mean, we've seen already some of the cloning stuff, so that I feel like that line of command would make sense, right? If you think about Thrawn, now he's now controlling Moff Gideon, and it also makes sense to how there's such regulation reform with whatever Imperial faction that Moff's in charge of right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think it's a little early to tell. I think that's a possibility. I'm not sure. I feel like it could be like a Tarkin Vader situation where like they're kind of both maybe like in charge of like different things, but they're kind of equals almost. I don't know.
I agree. It could also be that. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see those two butt heads.
Yeah. There's only 3 episodes left.
Really? That's it?
And maybe it's like a Tarkin and the guy from Rogue One, like that kind of situation where like the Tarkin like kind of takes charge and the other guy's like, but this is my creation. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah.
But yeah, there's only 3 episodes left in this season. Season 3 has been confirmed already, and I think is going to start shooting very soon if it hasn't already or something. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Like I feel like they are going to try to get a hold of Baby Yoda. We haven't heard anything about Boba yet, which like kind of a little confused about. They just like teased him at the first episode.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe the season will end with them
They'll all come together.
Baby Yoda.
Oh, a cliffhanger? Oh man, that would I would be not. I was so upset having to wait a year between Infinity War and Endgame. And I don't have to do it again with Grogu.
Oh man, but
Yeah.
no, that would be intense if they did it that way.
Yeah, Bo-Katan. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot for this episode. This has been the episode of cameos for this podcast, which I've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed it too. You as in Daniel, and you as in the audience.
As the audience, I know I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. So, are you ready for patron shoutouts?
Yeah, sit me with them.
Cue the epic Star Wars music. Boosh! We've got patron Lori, Frank, Tony, Rick, Evan. Thank you all for pledging the tier. Gets you the shout out. If you want to support us on Patreon, get episodes early, stuff like that. Lots of cool perks. Get to vote on stuff we do during breaks. Link is in the description down below. Follow our social medias are also down there. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. We will read them out. Yeah. Anything else you want to add today, Daniel?
I don't think I do. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and all that, everybody's doing good and everybody's happy and all that.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah.
All right. Take us home.
So we just talked about what we want to talk about, and now we're done.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support, all that jazz. We really appreciate you also dealing with Daniel's different audio setup.
It's a trip.
We'll be back eventually. It might be like this for another week or two, but we'll see. Yeah, thank you. Goodbye. See you next time. Bye.